And we're back. We have the imagination marker there, which I just noticed. But I feel like we should talk to him first, maybe, because I don't want to ruin anything. I didn't actually get any time to think about things. I totally forgot about it after a while when I got busy. But he burned some papers. He burned a book, basically. He burned some papers from a book. He was quickly trying to hide this book. The only thing that I can think of is that the book had some type of a plot line that is concurrent with what's going on. And that he has sort of masterminded this whole thing, but I don't see the benefit to him right now for that, because there's no motive for anything. I mean, I can see why he would want to get rid of some criminals outside his window, but we'll talk to him now and see what we can get out of him.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
Nothing. Alright, so we're going to use our imagination again. Got up from bed, had the cane. They went outside. They would not have gone outside first, so they got out of bed first. They opened the window. They went down and then threw things. Oh, I can do it that way. It took something I would not have, maybe not have realized, but they, I just thought they went down because of the broken stick. Then they had to go here, put the stick down and pick something from there, and then they threw whatever they picked up from there into the fire. No. They, for some reason, started cutting something up. The paper's up, and then they threw them into the fire. Oh, crap. Okay, it remembers that. So they got up, got their lamp, heard the shots, got up. And they got the cane. But they didn't. It doesn't say that he picked up the light, and the light was off, so he went to the window, saw what happened, or saw the bodies and then someone there. It's a long ass time for him to walk around with that limp. And maybe he's using his cane all wrong. Okay. Fast forward, so then he goes down here. He has all this time to come down here. It's probably as the arrest was being made or something. Or then it happened before everything else. But then there is someone else here too, or there was. And his motive could just be that he stole stuff. But this takes a long ass fucking time. Then he goes over to the shelf, puts down the cane, takes something from there quickly. Then he goes over to the kitchen table and starts slicing and dicing. He hid something inside a book, of course. What the fuck? What is this? There we go. It took a long ass time for me to realize that, because of the shape of the shavings and whatnot. So
Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Indeed. Oh, I have to use the thingy. So I would assume it's the like the first book on top, or if he's trying to hide it, then somewhere else. But fat prints.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
Moby Dick. It is a replaceable book also. A book that you can just cut up and then get another one later if you really want to hold on to it.
Well now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
So this doesn't really... It opens up a new motive of sort of him hearing or listening what they're doing during the night, and then he knows that there's a deal going to be happening down there at a certain point, and it involves like a bracelet or something, because I would assume they probably maybe use this location often, because it seems like I mean, it's out of the way in a sense, but I would rather use the Breaking Bad style of doing a trade in like a shop or something.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age, and when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then, and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window, as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
So he lost the book. So all that makes sense, and it also would, I have to assume that that's true. It makes sense So it sort of confirms the alibi of, or it confirms the statement of the brother, because he took the gun but not the bracelet. So with that in mind, we can basically rule him out. There is another motive, because he knew the guy, so he could be looking for, you know, vengeance and things like that. But it just, like, all the things put together just seems dumb, because he bumped into a police officer. He could do the murder, you know, at another time elsewhere, you know, more quiet, and not just run in and out. The woman said he was covered in blood, but I'm not sure he was covered in blood. Maybe his hands were covered in blood, but still. Because he probably went through the, you know, the bodies. There's still questions, a lot of them actually,
Mr.
but
Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
so let us look at what we sort of know. Lootless. Different shots. I have nothing here. Latent statement. Saw a person leaning over a dead body just as he entered the scene. Leighton took a gun from the body and set off in pursuit of the man, but he was blinded by a flash of bright light. So he took a gun from the body, and it's like, it's another coincidence where the body, or the person, because that would sort of create a situation where it was a murder-suicide. But I don't. There's nothing to. There's nothing that sort of says or points towards that. And also, the gun was probably on the friend, but I'll need to check that. And you wouldn't kill someone, shoot them in the head, and then shoot yourself in the stomach. And he also said that there was someone there, but I'm looking at how the murderer would have tried to frame the situation. He would have put the gun on, you know, in the hand of the guy who was shot in the head, basically, but he was shot in the head, like in the front, and you would probably want to shoot yourself in the temple, because just anatomy, basically. This probably does. Oh, it does. Okay. Turner could hear the contrast between two fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. Oh, what? Turner could hear the contrast between two fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. At first, a single shot was fired, and then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly afterwards. Turner could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots as they were made from different points in Half Moon Street. So this sort of the game gave it to me now. That there's no sort of insinuation for this. It means that there were actually there were actually 3 shots, probably. So there's going to be some sort of test that we're going to do. See if there's anything else. 2 victims, which is located between. All right, so 2 men were killed and they're lootless. Leighton Chapman had nothing of value in his possession when he was caught by the police. Leighton's statements. Alright, so these could have something to do with each other, but they don't really. So let's see if I can craft a test. There was a possible crossfire between Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti at Half Moon Street. Examine the dead bodies and perform a reenactment. So that makes sense. Just before I do it, 3 people, deal gone bad. One of them has a person sort of waiting in the sidelines, and either to protect them or to ambush the other one, no matter what happens. So it's more likely that it was this guy, because this guy was killed instantly, and the sort of the variety between the options given is pretty wide. First shot down and then shot up there. You'd need to sort of, I guess panic would do it, like you pull your gun and just start shooting. I'll try to fire a sort of a, not a real weapon, but like a, what do you call it? I think it's like not an airsoft gun. Maybe, I don't know, because it's not soft. It actually fires pellets, but try to fire from the hip and you can't really hit shit doing that. So when you, like, if you try to pull your gun real fast. So let's select him, and can I move? Yes, I can. So to see if there's a...
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something
Right.
to lift my lamp. This should be useful. Nothing interesting here.
So it was in fact the other way around. He wasn't finished off, but he was. So that would make sense that whoever... I don't know. We'll see. Oh shit, I think I need to activate it again. Select him. Yeah, man, the sun is shining over here. I can't see anything.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
So I would have done this first, I think, to look for bullet holes, but there was no sort of what's the word for that? I don't remember, but there was no option to do it, so I have to get it this way. So 3 shots. Let me just imagine it in my real mind, in my real imagination. He fires once and he's dead. He fires twice, so he pulls out a gun, fires first, misses. This guy pulls out a gun. This guy fires his second shot at the same time as he does, and they both sort of fall down. Then this guy comes to the window at the same time as the brother comes from here. He notices the two bodies. That guy notices him looking over the bodies. He recognizes this guy. He's like, son of a bitch. He takes the gun from, I guess, either one of them. But here's the first problem, or not necessarily a problem, but the second gun is missing. And so there had to be someone else down here, and it's not up there. And no one was seen coming from through here, so we still don't. I feel we still don't know everything. There's a possibility that the first shot was fired by someone else, and then these guys thought, they're being. The third shot was fired by someone else, then these guys thought that they were being ambushed and they shot each other. That's possible. There's a lot of things that can happen, so let's look at the clues again. Third shot, old acquaintance. So I don't really understand. Let me just read this. Common statement. Leighton Chapman is the only person who was seen entering Half Moon Street after Brian Vercotti and Kenneth Butler. He was seen standing over the dead bodies and escaping the crime scene shortly afterwards. So, it doesn't really have any sense, but it's just like to, maybe plug some holes into that, the sort of, the insinuation of what that has. Oh, shit. And that was an accident. I, again, pressed the wrong buttons. The person whom Leighton Chapman describes in his statements is a figment of his own imagination created to vindicate himself. That's not... that's not true, just because of the missing gun, his sort of lack of motive. His motive could be other things. He could have recognized the guy, run after him, and then shoot him. But the second shot was in the wrong direction, sort of. So it doesn't really make sense. But I'm sure I could make it make sense if I really tried. So now I'll try to press space to cut this thing. Two victims is an old acquaintance. They were both in prison. So, I mean, yeah, it's not really, doesn't really make sense, but it's like trying to build a case against the brother. We have to do that as well. Leighton's statements that he just saw a person leaning over a dead body just as he entered the scene. Leighton took a gun from the body and set off in pursuit of the man, but he was blinded by a flash of bright light. The bright light was not a third shot because that creates noise. I'm just sort of just not, because none of these really make sense to me directly. So he had to take the gun from the guy who fired twice. No, I mean, I need to pay more attention, I guess, but I'm just not getting anywhere. Because I'm thinking, so let me just, gun on the body, Had to most likely be. Had to most likely, that's not good English. Non-acquaintance. Because he's the one who fired 2 shots. So let me just let this sink in a little bit. I'll go talk to the lady again if I can, like if she heard any other things that, you know, things that might refresh her recollection. I mean, he made like a ninja trick, sort of vanishing trick here, which leads me to think that he could still be around, you know, and hiding inside a fucking sack or a barrel or something. That we'll find him here once we figure out what's going on. But that's relatively absurd, but then again, you know, absurd is the thing that you're looking for if you want to...
I suppose that I shall have to move my stool now.
If you want to create confusion. I think... I think we're going to have to do more with the neurons. I feel like, not that we're fully done with the case, but I feel like, or we're fully done with the clues, but I feel like we have to sort the neurons out, or the clues out. So there were 2 victims, 3rd shot. That makes sense. Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti both died of crossfire, with each of them holding a gun. One of the guns is now missing. That's what I think is true. So this one needs another sort of... We need evidence of the 3rd person. I feel like, well, this sort of proves that there was someone else here, or then the gun is somewhere located in some strange place, but... So, 2 shots fired, and then the 3rd shot, I was like thinking this sort of proves that there is another person there. Lane Chapman had nothing of value in his possession when he... Stop fucking... God damn it. Where is the... Lootless. So, Leighton Chapman had nothing of any value in his possession when he was caught by the police directly after the crime. Leighton Chapman is the only person who was seen entering Half Moon. He was seen standing over the dead bodies. I think I tried these together. Leighton was holding a revolver, 2 fired cartridges when he was caught after the crime in Half Moon Street. There we go. That doesn't help us much, but Kenneth Butler and Barbara Cody both died of crossfire with each other, each of them holding a gun. One of the guns is now missing. Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti were the victims of a double murder carried out by one person. Both of these sort of could be true, but then again not. So this is better. So then, oh, God damn it, the clues are not depleting. I was hoping that I could just deduce the clues, and then there's nothing else left than the right ones. I tried, no, not this one. Lootless, 2 victims. That doesn't really make any sense. No, I won't press that button. Old acquaintance. Let me look for the weapon a little bit, but I know it's not going to give it to me, but so we're assuming that he didn't have a weapon on him. So this was the weapon that was laying on the ground, and it would make sense how he would have shot this guy in the stomach and then himself in the head. That's 2 shots. That what might have been the original idea. now things are confused because someone else enters the party through accident just as the murder is happening, so it's a coincidence. And then the guy somehow has a way of vanishing. Now, being blinded suddenly, if there's like a really bright light, like a fucking laser directly into his eyes here, then fine. From the roof or through the mirror, but it's just not good enough right now. So I'm definitely missing a lot. I'll leave this episode here because we're sort of getting towards it, but we're not. I'm not getting too accurate of a picture here about the vanishing dude. I need to figure out what the fuck happened to him, but I will do that next. I'll see you there.